Testing, testing. 87654321.
I always forget to turn this thing on. Hello, good afternoon, and welcome to our graduation. If everyone could please stand at this time for the posting of the colors, and please remain standing afterwards for our national anthem, sung by Madeline Shelby.
Oh, say, can you see at the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Order, arms. Honor guard, right, face. Forward, march.
Let's give it up for Shelby and Madison. You can all be seated. Thank you. I would now like to introduce our graduating class.
Cadets, present, arms. Cadets, are you mentally prepared to accept your duties as Category 3 peace officers? Sir, yes, sir. Cadets, are you physically prepared to accept your duties as Category 3 peace officers? Sir, yes, sir. Cadets, right, face. Forward, march. Left, face.
Senior Zufelt, Senior Orantes, are these cadets prepared to become Category 3 peace officers today?
Ma'am, these cadets have done everything to fortify themselves mentally to become Nevada Category 3 peace officers.
Ma'am, these cadets are physically prepared to accept your duties as Category 3 peace officers.
Thank you. You may retire. Cadets, you may sit. Thank you everyone for being here with us today. Our cadets have worked tirelessly over the last 8 weeks to prove they are capable of becoming Category 3 peace officers. They have studied administrative regulations, Nevada revised statutes, Nevada administrative codes, and they have become proficient in defensive tactics as well as firearms. My team and I are exceedingly proud of them, as I'm sure all of you are. It is now my honor to introduce our distinguished guests. Deputy General Counsel Dylan Tedford. Our Director, James Zarenda. Deputy Director of Prison Industries, William Cuenga. Deputy Director of Support Services, Christina Shea. Associate Warden of Operations and Acting Warden at Northern Nevada Correctional Center, John Henley. Associate Warden of Programs at Northern Nevada Correctional Center, Robert Hartman. And Associate Warden of Operations at Lovelock Correctional Center, Daniel Collier. I want to say thank you all to these individuals for taking the time out of their busy schedules to be here with us today. It is now my pleasure to introduce our new Employee Development Manager, Dr. Chad Venters, to conduct our affirmation of faith.
Thank you, Sergeant. It's a pleasure to be here with all of you, and it's an absolute honor to be here to celebrate this class and everything that you're about to engage in public service. And I'd ask at this time that if you are someone who prays, if you would join us in a moment of prayer. And if you're someone who doesn't pray, that's okay too. We appreciate your positive thoughts and reflections for our new graduates and the life of public service they have entered into. God, we come before you today with excitement and gratitude for this new group of amazing men and women who have entered into a life of public service for corrections. What we have before us is not an easy task, and we all know this. They have chosen to serve the public in a vital endeavor. We ask that as they begin this new chapter in their lives, they remember that they are not alone. They have an incredible team behind them. We ask that they remember to care for themselves, to know that resources are available, and to know that if they are ever struggling or in need, that team is there for them every step of the way. We ask that they would feel your compassionate hand with them in the work that they do, and ultimately we ask that they would have the wisdom to execute their duties with excellence, strength, and hopefulness for the rest of the time that they serve in this department. We are grateful for everything. Amen.
Thank you, Dr. Venters. I would now like to present our keynote speaker, Deputy General Counsel to Governor Lombardo, Dylan Tedford.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Dylan Tedford, and I work in the governor's office, and I'm also our liaison with Director Zarenda. It's an honor to be here with you today, and the governor regrets that he's unable to attend this ceremony. But he asked me to share with you that the governor and we in the governor's office are all deeply aware of the tremendous importance of this ceremony and graduation. As you've learned over the past few weeks, the responsibility of law enforcement officers excuse me, specifically correctional officers, are immense, both on and off duty. First and foremost, you're responsible for the safety and security of your fellow officers, incarcerated offenders, and the public. But this job is bigger than that. You are responsible for demonstrating professional behavior for offenders, many of whom will return back into our communities. As officers, you have the opportunity to play a role in changing lives. You have the ability to influence offenders to be better. As law enforcement officers, you also have the unique opportunities to serve as role models in your neighborhoods and communities. Receiving your badge today is an honor. Respect that honor. Know that what you do, on duty or off duty, reflects the entire department. You are now part of the entire law enforcement family. Your post-training provided you with the skills you need to do your job. However, what you choose to do with those skills is what shapes your destiny as a future leader. Wear the badge and uniform proudly. It's well-deserved. Congratulations.
Thank you so much, sir. It means so much that you were able to take the time out of your busy schedule, like I said earlier, to come and talk to our graduating class. Thank you. I would now like to invite Associate Warden Collier to administer our oath of office. Class, come to attention and raise your right hand.
Repeat after me. I state your full name. I, do solemnly swear. Do solemnly swear. That I support. That I support. Protect and defend. Protect and defend. The Constitution and government of the United States of America. The Constitution and government of the United States of America. And the Constitution and government of the state of Nevada. And the Constitution and government of the state of Nevada. Against all enemies. Against all enemies. Whether domestic or foreign. Whether domestic or foreign. And that I will bear true faith. And that I will bear true faith. Allegiance and loyalty to the same. Allegiance and loyalty to the same. Of any ordinance, resolution, or law. Of any ordinance, resolution, or law. Of any state notwithstanding. Of any state notwithstanding. And that I will faithfully perform all duties. And that I will faithfully perform all duties. Of the position of peace officer. Of the position of peace officer. In the state of Nevada. In the state of Nevada. On which I'm about to enter. On which I'm about to enter. So help me God. So help me God.
Cadets, you can remain standing, but you can put your hands down. If I could have our distinguished guests please come to the front of the table so that we can do the pinning ceremony. Cynthia Chavez. Vernon Trinidad, Lovelock Correctional Center. Emily Ormison, Northern Nevada Correctional Center. Juan Andretti Becerra. Sheldon Taylor Blower. Rosa Aldema. Roger Alizaga. Tyler Buyak. Maita Aguiar. Dylan Earhart. Mario Ramos. Hector Velasquez. Bronson Duarte. Cameron Nussline. Robert Cummins. Please join me in welcoming Nevada's newest officers. Honored guests, you may return to your seats, thank you. Cadets, or officers, excuse me, you may now be seated. It is now my privilege to present our Achievement Awards. Our students qualify with 3 weapons: the Glock 17 9mm semi-automatic pistol, the .223 caliber Ruger Mini 14 rifle, and the Penn Arms 40mm launcher. Also observed during this class were all aspects of the range, to include following instructions and following all safety fundamentals and guidelines while on range. Our top shot for this class, with 100% on the Mini 14 and 100% on the Glock 17, goes to Officer Bronson Duarte. Our students take 4 academic tests and a comprehensive final exam, in which they must score at least an 80%. The tests are difficult and cover a full range of topics covered in the 8-week program. This group performed very well, achieving an overall class average of 91%. The top academic award for this class, with a cumulative average of 95%, goes to Officer Robert Cummins. Additionally, we ask the Academy to vote on a class leader, someone who stepped up and helped others out, someone who was not afraid to take control of situations that may have arisen. The Leadership Award for this class goes to Cynthia Chavez.
Thank you. First and foremost, I would like to thank my fellow cadets for the honor of class leader. After enduring the last 8 weeks together and watching how hard we all worked to get here to this point, it could have been either of us standing up here, so thank you again. We would like to start by thanking our non-training staff who took the time out of their schedules to help with our academy, whether it was teaching us about prison gangs, learning how to defend ourselves and defensive tactics, or even the day-to-day, like how shift logs work. Just know we appreciate your knowledge, encouragement, but mostly your patience. I don't know how many times a day we asked, "Can I see that again?" Or, "Can you go back like 3 slides?" We would also like to thank our seniors, Zufeld and Arantes, for kicking our butts and not letting us give up on ourselves to be able to be here today. Some days were harder than others, OC, but you guys never gave up on us and taught us that it's okay to make mistakes, but to have fun also. No matter how in shape you think you are, train with Senior Rantes and he'll show you that you're not. If you think you know everything, talk to Senior Zufeld, and I'm sure he can tell you a past experience that shows you don't know everything. We could not have asked for better instructors to lead us into our careers and be great examples of the type of officers we hope to turn into. Thank you for everything you have shared with us. And lastly, we would like to thank Sergeant Mom, Sergeant Robinson, and Officer Kibbe for helping us through our journey, even though we were all terrified by your mere presence at times. We also wouldn't be here today, of course, without our loved ones. Thank you for sharing in this auspicious occasion. The Academy is not easy by any means, so it warms my heart to see so many of you take the time out of your schedules and to show your support and commemorate today with us. We're also very lucky to be one of the few academies to have our graduation at the Capitol, so thank you to everyone who made this possible. I'm sure for most of us, graduating is very bittersweet, so let's take it all in before we part ways. Thank you.
During every academy, we ask our students to recognize instructors who have inspired them. Our academic instructor of the quarter is criminal investigator Eric Ortiz from the Office of the Inspector General. Our tactical instructor of the quarter is Officer Kelvin Bakasin from NNCC, and unfortunately he is not able to be here today to accept his award because he is sick. So we'll give him a clap in honor. Our director, James Zarenda, started out as a correctional officer in Connecticut. He worked his way through the ranks and eventually became the commissioner for the Connecticut Department of Corrections. He has been responsible for running jails and correctional facilities all over the country, to include New York and Las Vegas. He was the director of the NDOC from 2016 to 2019, and he was asked to come back by Governor Lombardo in 2023. Please help me in welcoming our director, James Zarenda.
Well, thank you and welcome everybody, and it's a great day to be able to share this with their families and their friends. They're going to need more support now than ever, and you will certainly find out, but I hope that support continues through their whole career. What I wanted to give some, advice, but talk to the new staff, the new officers starting. I was where you were. 1987, when I graduated the academy, I know what was going through my mind, I know it's going through yours. Is this what I want? Do I really want to do this? I saw what they were doing at training. Is this what I want to do every day? I'll tell you, on my end, it was the most rewarding thing I've ever done. Here's what I hope you do is don't stop here. Continue your career, volunteer for other avenues anytime you can. When there's emergency response teams, when there are investigators, whether there's restrictive housing, you need to expand your career, which gets you more knowledge and base in the business. What the Deputy General Counsel for the Governor mentioned about professionalism. When I first introduced myself and met with you when you were doing your PTs out in the compound, first thing I noticed in my mind was the professionalism you all had. The way you lined up, the way you wore proudly in your PT uniforms. But I have to say, more proud of seeing you here today and what you're wearing today with the badge and how professionalism you all look, and also how proud I am to be your director. Another thing that goes with even what the Deputy General Counsel mentioned with respect for your uniform. I'll tell you, and I mention this to all the classes, you have neighbors that probably have no idea who you are, But after today, they know what you do, even if they don't know who you are and where you work every day, but they do know your uniform. That's the same thing out in the community. The people in the community will know where you work based on your uniform. And what happens is you represent all of us. Anything you do in the community that's good represents all of us. Same thing if you do something bad in the community, it represents all of us. We're a family now. We represent each other. We represent that law enforcement community that is actually almost under-respected on what we actually do every day. It's not an easy job. You're not going to go home happy as you can be like you're going home today. There's going to be difficult days. All I could say is you got to stick with it. It is rewarding. And the other thing you got to realize, you probably never even thought in this business, you're role models today. You're going to have to be role models to those from society that did not make it in society or that failed in society. What they see in you is how a person is really supposed to act and socialize and be. So more professional and more of a higher level role model you are, they will respect that more and be able to have some guidance when they go back into the community. Those that we're watching in our prison systems, 95% of them are going to be going home, which means they're going to be going back into our communities around our families. What you do on the job is going to play an impact on every single one of them. And whether you do that good role model and you do what you're supposed to do, be professional, making sure you educate them as well, everything we do plays an impact later on with your families because they will be going home. And we got to make sure we remember that we are here to do the best we can so that it protects the community and our children and our families will be safer, because everything we do well literally plays a reduction in recidivism, which is reduction in victimization in our communities. Anyway, I'm proud to be able to be up here to present and say hello and welcome. And I wish you all the best, and please, again, don't stop here, expand your careers, and you'll see how rewarding it will be. Congratulations to all of you and your families and friends. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for your inspiring words. To the family and friends of the officers here today, thank you. In the next several weeks, these officers will learn what hard work and integrity means. They will have good days, and they will have bad days. And they will learn that they need your support now more than ever. So thank you, because without you and your constant support, our department would not be successful. To my officers, Winston Churchill once said, "Success is not final. Failure is not fatal. It is the courage to continue that counts." Today you have achieved a great success, but one success does not equal another. So continue to move forward so that you may have a successful career. Throughout your life and throughout your career, you will experience some degree of failure, but do not dwell on that failure, and instead learn from it so that you may grow stronger. And finally, be courageous so that you may move our department into a brighter future. Thank you. I'd like to ask everybody to please stand at this time for the retrieval of the colors. Class, you are officially dismissed. Yeah, you're dismissed.